This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
UK Talk Radio, welcome. It's Jonathan Hines here with your lyrics and lines with Jonathan Hines for this week. And we've got one from the turn of the decade now. That's the turn of the decade from the 80s to the 90s. So we're right on the cusp of the 80s and 90s this week for lyrics and lines with Jonathan Hines. A great track, some great memories here for many of you, I'm sure. And without any further ado, as they say, great old expression there, let's look at the lyrics. Now I'm going to take some lyrics out of this song that are maybe not so easy to get straight away, but one of the verses which may be slightly more challenging, but you're so good at this generally, this quiz. Most of the answers you send in are spot on, so well done. And we have a lot of fun with this quiz. So these are the lyrics I'm going to pull out of this song from the turn of the decade, on the cusp of the 80s and 90s. And we've got: she was a Gemini on the cusp of Mars. She holds me back, but she goes too far. Winding me up just to let me down. So emotional, gagged and bound. There's more to this than meets the eye. A devil woman locked inside. With the formal rising, I was scared. I think I was possessed. Now, this is a love song. It goes without saying. Not surprisingly. Interesting lyrics there. I think you could say he was fairly besotted or in love, to say the least, looking at those lyrics there. So once again, look forward to receiving all your answers. The lyrics for this week's lyrics and lines are: she was a Gemini on the cusp of Mars. She holds me back, but she goes too far. Winding me up just to let me down. So emotional, gagged and bound. There's more to this than meets the eye. A devil woman locked inside. With the formal rising, I was scared. I think I was possessed. But when you listen to the song, it does sound quite romantic and quite a, almost dancey song. Quite an upbeat song, despite those fairly should we say dark lyrics there from part of the song. Now, in about 10-15 minutes' time, we're also going to be looking at the background to this song, and the writing of this song and the chart positions, and a bit about the artist as well, of course, as we always do. And that's what I love so much, the research aspect and all the quirky facts that we can talk about, and the background to the song and how it came into being. So the other clue was it's the cusp of the 80s to 90s, and those were your lyrics for lyrics and lines with Jonathan Hines here on UK Talk Radio for this week. Back with you again after this.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
2001 is a year which holds many rich and poignant memories for me, as it does for many people, I'm sure. If you're over 30, I suppose 2001 sounds like fairly modern times, but when you consider that those born in 2001 are now around 19, it doesn't seem so modern, does it? And when you look at the internet, mobiles and computers of 2001, it seems like another world, and even archaic. A random memory from 2001 for me is one connected with one of the biggest songs of that year, and a trip with my granddad that I arranged for him about 9 months before he rather suddenly passed on unexpectedly. The song that I always remember, and that is what I'm talking about here, is Thank You by Dido, which of course was huge. Thank You by Dido. Now, I was 21 and I remember coming through the suburbs of Paris on the Eurostar train, approaching the city on a hot Saturday of summer 2001. Late June it was, with my granddad, who I took over for the day as a treat, and an amusing memory that is still with me is tuning into a random French radio station, could have been a local one or national one, I'm not sure, on my little portable radio. Who uses them now? And this song was just ending, and the French lady presenter said the name of the song and the artist in the only way she knew how. Thank You by Dido. Thank You by Dido. A random memory that may seem a bit obscurely bizarre for some, but I'll never forget that. The way that French radio presenter said "Thank You" by Dido, which of course was a huge song at that time, wasn't it? In the summer of 2001.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
How many of you noticed how much of the news is in fact not news or any revelation at all, but in fact a statement of the obvious, or at least statement of the virtually obvious? I've noticed this lame and patronising aspect of a lot of mainstream news reporting for years now, but I don't think I've ever written about this specifically. A lot of these news items are health-related revelations, in inverted commas, of things that could be very bad for our health or increase our risk of certain illnesses, but in fact should be absolutely obvious or blatantly apparent to most people. It's so lame and patronising, almost like they think nobody can think for themselves and come to certain fairly obvious conclusions themselves. Rather than news, it's at times a statement of the obvious, or the practically obvious. The latest revelation, one of many from over the years, and a bit late as it would appear that the pandemic is gradually on its way out now, is that people who are overweight are more likely to get a bad case of the coronavirus or die from it. Oh my goodness, thanks for that. What a surprise and shock that if you're not very fit, or you're overweight, or you have a poor diet, you may have lower immunity and less resistance to infections or illnesses. Who would have thought it? Many 11-year-olds could work that one out.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.
UK Talk Radio, welcome back. We've got Lyrics and Lines with Jonathan Hines now, and the very popular quiz, which you're very good at. Most of your answers are spot on, and lots of memories and comments come through as well about the fabulous songs that we talk about, these classics. Now, the one that we're doing this week, ladies and gentlemen, is on the cusp of the 80s and 90s, right at the turn of the decade, 1990. I chose some of the slightly less obvious and trickier lyrics from the song, but most of you have got it right, so thank you very much to all of you for taking the trouble to email and sometimes tweet as well, and sending in all your memories and, as I said, mostly correct answers. Now, straight on to the lyrics that we were looking for. She was a Gemini on the cusp of Mars. She holds me back, but she goes too far, winding me up just to let me down. So emotional, gagged and bound. There's more to this than meets the eye. A devil woman locked inside with a formal rising. I was scared. I think I was possessed. Well, you're certainly in love there. Quite intense lyrics there. One more time, just in case you've just tuned in. She was a Gemini on the cusp of Mars. She holds me back, but she goes too far, winding me up just to let me down. So emotional, gagged and bound. There's more to this than meets the eye. A devil woman locked inside with a formal rising. I was scared. I think I was possessed. So what's the song? We've got 1990. It's a reggae song, or maybe reggae fusion. This artist became known for 1990. Have you got the answer? I've got many correct answers here. One or two that were slightly off, but mostly correct. Right, the song is Close to You by Maxi Priest. Close to You by Maxi Priest from 1990. What a fantastic memory there. Now, Close to You by Maxi Priest was released in July 1990 from the album Bona Fide. Close to You reached number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 in October 1990 and peaked at number 2 on the Australian ARIA singles chart and reached number 7 on the UK singles chart. Now, the genre is R&B, soul, and a new jack swing. I haven't heard of that genre, new jack swing. And as I said, it's from the album Bona Fide. Written by Maxi Priest, Gary Benson, and Winter Sailor. Produced by Handel Tucker, Jeffrey Chung, and Lowell Sly Dunbar. And it was a number 1 in the US, so great breakthrough there for Maxi Priest. And there are more than one. There's more than one video for the song, so some of you may have seen one video and others may have caught the other. It's been covered quite a few times, including quite recently in 2016 by Jay Sean, interpolated. Jay Sean interpolated lyrics from this song in the hit Make My Love Go featuring Sean Paul, so just 4 years ago there. Now in the charts, did very, very well in many countries, including Canada, Belgium, Austria, Australia. Europe overall, number 18. Germany did well. And particularly in the UK, of course, at number 7. In the US, did well on all the US charts. So let's have a look at Maxi Priest. Still very much around, Maxi Priest. He's still producing. He's worked with Shaggy as well. I think that was 1993 from memory. And had a hit, yes, in 1993 with Shaggy. And the name escapes me, but it'll come back to me in just a moment. Now, Maxi Priest, his real name, Max Alfred Maxi Elliott, who's now 59 years old already. He's a British reggae vocalist of Jamaican descent. He's best known for singing reggae music with an R&B influence, otherwise known as a genre called reggae fusion. He was one of the first international artists to have success in his genre and one of the most successful reggae fusion acts of all time. He was born in Lewisham in London, and as I said, his music is sometimes closer to R&B and pop than to reggae, and this is called reggae fusion. His cousin Jacob Miller, a reggae icon, was the frontman of the popular reggae group Inner Circle. His musical career began with him singing on the South London reggae sound system Saxon Studio International, after which there were some independent single releases, and his first, I suppose, real hit in terms of the UK chart would have been Some Guys Have All the Luck. And at one point it was reported that he was going to become the new frontman for the group UB40. But this was confirmed as not true. He was collaborating with the band, but he wouldn't become the new lead singer. So what an intriguing fact there. And of course, we mentioned Shaggy. Let's go back to the duo he did with Shaggy in 1993. That Girl with Shaggy, which was quite a fairly moderate hit as well. So an intriguing fact about Maxi Priest there. And as I said, he's still about, still doing stuff. He released something as late as 2013 and 2008. So still about, you could say. And lots of memories that you've sent in there about this song. As I said, it's 1990, Close to You by Maxi Priest. Well, that was Lyrics and Lines with Jonathan Hines. Once again, thank you for all your emails. Really appreciate them. And we've got another Lyrics and Lines with Jonathan Hines next week here on UK Talk Radio. as always, every week, Monday to Friday, with me, Jonathan Hines. And I'll be back with you again very shortly here on UK Talk Radio.
This is UK Talk Radio, with the music you love and the chat you enjoy.